Hello and welcome to the OriginMD channel. This deck started as a challenge on Discord to make a viable Monoblue control deck in Magic Duels. The result is that it holds up to around rank 25 and can be quite fun to play with. Your main plan is to mill your opponent, drop the tutelage and use counter spells and bounce to prevent your opponent from overrunning you. Thing in the Ice and Displacement Wave serve as crowd control, and the former can be used to get in for good damage, if it flips and resolves. Plan B is to get a Duels tower out, and charge it with the 24 instants and sorceries we have in the deck. Now, let's discuss each card in more detail. Minister of Inquiries registers quite low on opponent's threat level, and can do some serious milling work in the deck. If you're on the play, he can mill quite important cards, and recharge with energy too. Select for Inspection is a decent card versus creature decks. Can also be used on your ministers to save them and scry. Baby Chase works nicely in our deck. We can get value by filtering cards, and even use Broken Concentration for its madness cost. Transformed Jace can give us additional value from casting out instants and sorceries, and his ultimate is almost an automatic win. Thing in the Ice can really mess up opponent's plans if it flips. It returns all horrors to their owner's hand and becomes a 7/8 Kraken. You can remove the final counter at instant speed, during your opponent's end step, or even during battle. Quite fun indeed. Horribly Awry is a horribly bad counterspell, pun intended. It's quite limited in its use, which is why it's rarely expected, and can work well against cards like Scrapyard Scrounger by exiling them. However, it's useless against vehicles and other spells, but we've got to work with what we have. Compelling Deterrence bounces back serious threats, be they planeswalkers or creatures, best used on opponent's turn. Unsubstantiate can also be used to bounce back the spells on the stack, and setting opponent up for a possible counterspell next turn. Displacement Wave is our crowd control, with the downside of it being a sorcery. Extremely useful against aggro decks, with creatures of less than 3 converted mana cost. We can bounce them for 4 mana, while keeping tutelage and towers on the board. Take Inventory is the staple for drawing more cards in the mill decks. If we discard it, we also get additional value if we cast another one. Duels Tower can be recharged with energy from all our instants and sorceries. Original plan included Trophy Mages to fetch the towers, but testing showed that surviving long enough would lead to victory anyway, and bouncing Planeswalkers is cheaper than using energy to get rid of them. Sphinx's tutelage is our bread and butter, and our main win condition. Quite effective against monocolored decks, but prone to enchantment hate that most decks run due to an abundance of vehicles in the current metagame. Scatter to the Winds is the best counterspell we have in Duels, with an upside of awakening one of our lands into a 3/3 creature. Broken Concentration is another unconditional counterspell that can be madnessed out as a bonus. However, it does require 4 mana, making it difficult to play it. Artificer's Epiphany is a decent draw spell. With a tower on the field, you don't even need to discard a card. Glimmer of Genius is one of the best draw spells in Duels, and we do want all of the effects in this card, including Scry, Draw, and Energy. Jace has grown up and is ready to take on the secrets of other decks. Scry and Draw effect is as relevant as ever. Bouncing both our and opponent's creatures is also welcome, and the ultimate can be a game winner. Torrential Gearhulk can carry the games by flashing in at any time and bringing back instants from your graveyard. A counterspell at a critical juncture, or a glimmer when you have a tutelage out, can be the difference between a win and a loss. You can also bounce him back to your hand and use him again. As for the mana base, we have 19 islands, 1 Skyline Cascade for tapping down opponent's creatures, and 3 Ether Hubs for energy. Now that we've discussed the deck, let's play. Alright, let's keep this hand. Let's see which kind of land he's going to pull. An island, alright. An island for an island. Nothing else. Alright. Let's go ahead and get a thing in the ice. So, blue and white. The possibility of counter spells is high. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go for an Artificer's Epiphany at the end of opponent's turn. Rogue's Passage. Alright, this means that he does have creatures at the very least. Let's see if he wishes to counter it. Looks like it doesn't. So let's discard the take inventory. Alright. Can go for a Jace and then insubstantiate, but I think I'm willing to hold on to the Broken Concentration. Alright. Wyvern, so no problem by itself. Let's go ahead and wait. Alright, Angelic Destiny. Well, I think it's time to return the Wyvern to its owner's hand, so that the Angelic Destiny is going to go into the graveyard. Sandstone Bridge is not going to help much. And since our opponent is tapped out, let's see, we don't really have any 5 mana spells that we really need, so on turn 6 we want our Torrential Gearhulk to be up and running. So I think I'm just going to go for the Cascade. And I'm going to keep the Broken Concentration in my hand in case he has something very powerful going on. Something like an Avacyn. I won't care much about the Drake, because we can use the thing in the ice to return all the non-horrors to their owner's hands. Alright, Baral, go ahead. Anything else? No. So, Glimmer of Genius, I think, is a very good thing for us. Let's go ahead and play out Jace. We will still hold the counterspell. Thunderclap Wyvern is going to be fine. It's not that much of a problem. Alright, Niblis of Frost. So he can cast a 3 mana spell, but we can still flip everything, so the question is, do we do it or not? I think I'm fine with going for a Glimmer here. Let's see if he's going to counter it in some way. Yes, he's going to use the Spell Shrivel. This means that I think the ice is not going to be used here, but we still hold on to 2 counter spells. Just 1 counter. So at any time we want, we can madness out the broken concentration. So I think we just wait. We can even go for a torrential Gear Hulk to pull out an insubstantiate, and then the horror is going to flip. So the question is, do we do it? We might run into a counter spell, but alright, let's risk it. Insubstantiate, which means our horror is going to flip. We get back our torrential Gear Hulk. And now we have a 7-8 in play. That was quite a bit risky from us. Now let's see if we can make it work somehow. Nebelgast Spirit. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. Attack for 7. Do we keep up another counter spell? I think so. Right, barrel. Barrel is fine. Chase of his own. I think I don't mind just broken concentration on chase as well. He's probably going to jump. Let's see, do we have enough for a Gear Hulk here? We should. Let's go ahead and attack. Alright, jumps. Let's get chase going. Welcome to the fold on chase. Yeah, I think since he only has 2 mana, we're just going to go for a broken concentration here. Which means we are going to hit for 13 unless something unexpected happens. So let's go ahead and attack with everyone except for Jace. Alright. Leaves him at 1. And now we're just going to wait. Alright, opponent has left the game. Let's go ahead and try and get something from Jace. We got Sphinx's Tutelage. Already halfway through the game. We can probably even just return this possible blocker to our opponent's hand once, we've got another spirit that can jump, but it's already a little too late. Good game. All right. I think we can do better than that. Let's try and keep this hand. We are on the play. All right. Narham Renegade. 1/2 Death Touch. But this also means that he's running green, which means there is a chance that he might be running something like a Reclamation Sage. And this might be a big problem for us, since we don't have Horribly Awry in our opening hand. Golgari Colossus. Alright. Interesting. That's one. Aggro decks are not really good for us. So the question is, do we go Dinovault first or Sphinx's Tutelage first? I think I'm willing to go for the Dinovault Tower first. See if it's going to bait out any of the Reclamation Sages. Alright, instead it's going to be Read the Bones. Loses 2 life, scries 2, then draws 2. Attacks for 2. So we've got 4 mana now. I think we can go for a Tutelage here. No need to delay. Right. Has Farkas Disciple that has Death Touch. Seems like a dedicated Death Touch deck. Probably going to attack for 2 more, which is fine. So what we can do is we can go for Jace, or we can go for Compelling Deterrence and Horribly Awry on our opponent's turn. Jace will have 6, so he might survive. Yeah, I think I don't hate just going for Jace, and then we can bounce something back. Alright, 1 more Tutelage is not going to be too bad. Another Death Touch creature, add a Poisoner, 2 of them in fact. Alright. Get some energy. Attacks Jace most likely. So our Jace is not going to survive for long. Of this we can be quite sure. We can wait for him to attack and then return it to our hand. But I think first we want to play out the one more tutelage. Use his +1 ability. Alright. Do we want this? I think not really. We want some sort of control. So he does have some pump. Let's go ahead and wait for him to attack. Then we can use compelling deterrence to get Chase back to safety. Alright. Will he attack straight to the face? He will. Let's see. He can create colorless tokens and whatnot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 damage. 6 damage is, I think, good enough for us. Just going to return the Great Blade Marauder to his hand. Can attack for 8 next turn. So he's got quite a lot more. Let's see, he can hit for 4, 5, 6 more damage if we bounce back with the compelling deterrence. So probably going to +1 Jace. Let's get this to the bottom. Alright, this is the card I was really looking forward to seeing. This means that we can cast out the displacement wave for 2 to clear out the board. This is probably the ideal time to play it out. And then on our opponent's turn we can just use the compelling deterrence on the Farrakhan's Disciple. Alright, not going to do anything about that. This one might actually just go ahead and counterspell it. Fatal Push, yeah, don't think you want to do that. Even if he gives 1 damage to Chase, will be fine. No need to waste the energy either. Alright, he attacks straight to the face. This is also fine. Don't think he has any creatures with haste. Let's see. Marauders, Liliana. Yep, don't think any creatures with haste, so just going to scry and draw more. Let's put this on the bottom. He's got only a few more cards left. So we've got 1 more Glimmer, and we can bounce back one of his permanents with a compelling deterrence. So let's go ahead and wait for the next turn. Then I think we'll be quite close to finishing and closing out this game. Alright. 3 mana left. Reclamation Sage. This is what we've been waiting for. Let's go ahead and counter it. He can hit us for 5 this turn. If he's going to attack straight, might as well just use the Duels Tower. And then Glimmer of Genius to recharge the tower. Our opponent has left the game. Alright, one more tutelage, why not? And this means game. Alright. Good game. Alright, let's see. I think we can do better than that. Well, we've got a lot of card draws, so let's see if this can work for us. Red mana. Alright, nothing else. Probably has a spell that he can cast. But for now we're just going to take inventory. Alright. Red and black. Any creatures? Yep, we're going to see an Aslan visit us. So it's going to be a vampire deck. So we've got a lot of islands. I think we can still take 3 damage here. He also doesn't have a Madness Enabler yet, so I think I'm willing to go for take inventory twice. Might draw into our only 1-drop. Alright, instead we got a Thing in the Ice. That's not too bad. Alright, Forerunner of Slaughter means he's going to hit us for 6. So might be playing something similar to my Rakdos deck. So I think I want to go for a Thing in the Ice here. And then depending on what he's going to do, I will either go for Holy Rai or Compelling Deterrence on the Visitor. Alright. Attacks with both. Let's use the Compelling Deterrence. And then block. Alright, Twin Bolt is going to take out the Thing in the Ice. And a Golden Arsonist enters the game. So we've got 5 mana. We can draw 3 cards, which I think is good. Alright, we finally got our mill. And I think I will have to go ahead and play it, since I don't really have any mass removal spells. I do hope I can get a displacement wave. Then for 2 mana I can bounce back most of the permanents. Alright, he hits us for 4, leaving us at 9. And this means that this game is not going to be easy at all. Alright, so we can go for a cascade on the Forerunner. Otherwise we've got 6 lands, but yeah. Let's go for it like that. Then we can bounce back Olivia with Compelling Deterrence and get rid of one of his cards with a Hollow-Bray Eye. And still survive for a few turns, hopefully. So let's see how it goes. Right, Asylum Visitor. Do we go for a Hollow-Bray right here? Yeah, I think we do. Then if we bounce back Olivia, he might not be able to play her out. Alright, call the Bloodline. Let's see, attacks. Let's return Olivia to his hand. Which means we're down to 8, but still alive. Alright, I think a Torrential Gear Hulk is definitely not a bad thing for us. Can't properly block the Forerunner of Slaughter. We've got 6 mana exactly, so I think playing out another island is good enough. Let's wait for our opponent's turn. Otherwise we'll have to use Compelling Deterrence. When he menaces out, I don't think... Yeah, I have to wait probably for it. Alright. Now let's get the Torrential Gear Hulk out. Get the Horribly Awry. To get rid of the Bloodhole Priest, which can be quite problematic. Let's see if he's going to attack into me. Alright, no attacks. Fatal Push. I think we can go for Jace and then Glimmer at the end of turn. Of course, I'm not going to attack. Galvanic Bombardment. I don't think I can save Jace here. I do have another one though. But we are quite close in terms of how many cards we have in our library, so not a situation you want to be in if you're playing a mill control. Alright, I think we have to block this. Even if we know this is probably bait. Why not? No Copter is alright for us. We're still definitely hanging by a thread. This caused another call to bloodline. We're still dead in 2 turns if nothing else happens. So let's see. 33 lands, all cheese dragsters, so it's got a lot of creatures with trample. We can only really go for an insubstantiate once he attacks with a Forerunner of Slaughter. Don't think our counter spells are going to matter. Alright, also got select for inspection. Not too bad. Let's see if we can make it work. So yeah, let's wait for the attack. Attacks chase with everything. Let's say disperse. Well, why not? Chase get hits for 3. This is fine. Let's go ahead and scry and draw. Thing of the Ice, not too bad. No Ethersphere Harvester is also some good news for us. Let's play our Thing in the Ice. We can go for Insubstantiate on the Olivia. And then perhaps even an Artificer's Epiphany. Or we can counter his spell with a Broken Concentration. There's quite a lot of options. Alright, so we can return it to his hand. Or just counter it. Yeah, I think I'll just counter it. Then when he attacks, I will insubstantiate Olivia. Alright. Insubstantiate Olivia. He doesn't have any more energy. So let's go ahead and block the Goblin Arsonist. We have 2 more counters, which we can, so this means we can flip Thing in the Ice by using 2 spells. So we just might be able to win this. Let's go ahead and +1 chase. I think we'll be fine. No more Copters or Harvesters. Which means it's also good news for us. Let's see, we've got 7 mana. So we can play out Artificer's Epiphany, Insubstantiate, and select for inspection. Looks like good news for us. Alright, here comes the attack. So I think I'll be flipping my thing in the ice. Let's go ahead and use the Artificer's Epiphany first. I think I don't mind discarding one island. And then I'm going to select for inspection, which means our thing in the ice is going to flip and we have a counter spell to take care of unwanted creatures. Alright, Gifted Airborne, Fiery Temper, let's see what he's going to do. Olivia, I think, can be taken care of with a Broken Concentration. So let's +1 chase again. Alright, Glimmer of Genius is something good for us. Our opponent is also quite close to just losing the game outright, so we're not going to be attacking since he has something like an Old Chase Dragster and other hasty creatures are possible, so I'm not going to risk it. We've got a Glimmer of Genius, Insubstantiate and Disperse. He's going to create a token, which would have blocked the Awoken Horror. Anyway, so let's wait. Alright, shock to the face, this is fine. Even if he has an excluded Firecraft that cannot be counted, this is only 4 more damage. Goblin Arsonist is fine. Alright, we were playing very carefully in order not to mess this up. End of turn we're going to Glimmer. And this will probably be enough to close out the game. Another Glimmer is good. Let's see. Yeah, let's just Glimmer again. Displacement Wave is good too. Alright, looks like that's it. I want to thank you for watching. And see you in the next video.